Howdy, everybody. How you doing? Howdy, everybody. How you doing? Good. All right. We are in traditional mode. So when you're in traditional mode, we're talking, right? So everybody say, mm-hmm. Say, I heard that. Say, yeah, right. All right. So if you feel it, come with it. Like, say, uh-huh. Okay. Only when you feel it. Railroad Bill was a conjure man. He did that mojo with his right and his left hand. Bad, bad Railroad Bill. Now, from Maine to Texas, used to be a magical area, 100 miles wide of pine forest. And you know, pine is antiseptic. Pine is a cleanser. So pine was the border for Turtle Island. It was kept there to keep this area clean. Well, in the 1800s, that was decimated. Before they learned how to use petroleum, they used pine, turpentine, tar, pitch, everything came out of that. And the people that did that dirty, dangerous, necessary work was a lot of black men. And one of those men was Morris. Came later to be known as Railroad Bill. But Mr. Morris was one of those people who was born post-Bellum. One of a generation of people who had not been told from before birth to kowtow. So he liked the independence of going out there and cutting that tree, getting that sap, boiling it down, bringing it and going back out and doing his own work by himself. He liked that a lot. Oh yeah, gonna ride that Railroad Bill. 1893, the Depression came along. Times got tight. And they put in a new law for all those people working those turpentine camps. If you have a firearm, you have to pay for your permit or give up your weapon. Well, Mr. Morris had a peculiarity about him wherever he worked. He walked with a limp. And the limp wasn't because he was hurt. The limp was because, as I said before, he was an independent black man post-Civil War in Alabama, near Florida border. So he had a limp because he had a rifle stuck down his pants. So sheriff came up to Morris and said, boy, you got a permit for that? Morris looked at him and looked at him again and walked away. Sheriff took a deep breath and went and got reinforcements. Came back with a gang of deputized. Came back out into the woods, into those piney woods where he worked and said, Morris, permit, pay, or give it up. Morris looked at all of them, and turned his back and walked off. Well, sheriff wasn't going to let that happen in front of his boys. So he let loose a couple of rounds on him and missed. And Morris unlegged that rifle and blew the ear off one of them deputies and headed for the deep woods. into the piney woods. Well, he lived out there. He turned into Robin Hood because he's breaking into freight cars because he's doing a lot of train shifting, taking that turpentine here and there, breaking into freight cars, getting dry goods, getting canned food, surviving off of that out in the woods. And all those poor people living right next to the track, they opened up their door, and there's some food. Said, Railroad Bill has been here. Railroad Bill, mighty fine man, opened up my door and I found me a can. I'm going to spy at Railroad Bill. They sent posse and posse after posse for him. One time, they had him. They knew they had him because they knew the holler was going to go down like that and he'd be trapped. Dogs came over, got to the holler. No Bill, but there was a little red fox sitting up there just kind of going. And jumped down into a hole and was gone. Another time, they heard that Bill was visiting Mary. So they said, we're going to get him this time. So they went over the border into Mississippi to get Gant's bloodhounds. Got his 4 best bloodhounds, had an old hat of Bill's. Sick 'em. They were going down the trail, going down the trail, going down the trail, going down the trail. Dogs also in them. Big black bloodhound gets up and lead, goes, oh, oh, starts taking them everywhere, through the briars, through the swamps, through the sludges, everywhere. These people getting torn up, following this big black hound with the reds coming behind it like that. And they finally, after all through this, they get to Mary's house. Bam, 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 I know he's in there. Well, they knocked and they knocked, but the hounds are going, whoa. The hounds are pulling because hounds can still smell. And they look, whoa, whoa, and they got to let them go, and all the reds go. But then they see the black one going the other direction. And he's not there either. $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 on this man's head. So you know what happens? Every black man that looks anything like him is getting brought in, dead or alive. But Bill's still out there, serving the people. Till one day, little town in Alabama, Altax, Alabama. One of his posse walks into the general store, and there, leaning up against the Cracker Barrel, that's Railroad Bill, eating cheese and crackers in the store with that long leg, and you know why. So he sees him, and he points to the man behind the counter and says, keep an eye on him. So he backs back out, goes out, comes around the alley to the window, the side window of the building, pulls out his gun. Pow, pow, pow! Through the window. Cheese and crackers and blood. Hits the ground. Man jumps out from behind the counter with his shotgun. But boom! But boom! Put 13 bullets in that body. We got Morris Slater. We got that crazy Negro. They took the body, put it up on a board, sold tickets. Took pictures, sold those. We got them. But the songs say, get away from here. I'm going out west. Going with that 44 stuck in my vest. I'm gonna ride that railroad bill. So they got some colored boy and blasted him to pieces and put him up on display. But every time those people by the tracks opened up their door and saw some food magically appear, or you hear about that bad man with that 38 special on that 44 frame. How you gonna stop me when I got dead aim? You know you're talking about Railroad Bill.